Ravi, thank you. Thanks. Thank you guys. Thank you. Tell me when you are starting. Hi everyone, how are you all? I welcome you back to Vista's Learning, which is your quality education partner, and this is Injila, your social educator. I hope you all are doing great and you're very excited for another series of the revision class. And in this class, we are going to cover the subject geography. That is complete geography, entire geography. And as you can see here, after this class, after this revision class, like we did in the previous revision class of history, we will be able to score the 20 marks, which is 100% confirmed. But you have to stay tuned with us throughout the video. The session can be a little long. It can be more than 45 minutes also, or 1 hour. But you please stay here. Get all your materials to write, make notes, and start learning with me. Let's revise together. So how many of you actually watched the previous history revision class? कितने लोगों ने यहाँ पे revision class देखा है जो हमने last time किया है, that is of history. So I hope काफ़ी लोग आप लोग ने हमें join किया है history revision class में, and that class definitely will be very fruitful. अगर आपने नहीं देखा है then please go back और वो वाली revision class को भी देखिए and then come back to geography. Let's revise step by step. First history, then geography, then next class, as you all know, it will be of political science, and then finally it will be of economics, and we will score at least 75 or more out of 80. That's my assurity to you. Now, before this revision class, tell me one thing. How many of you also have watched our live classes? Because why, guys? Why I'm telling you is because now this class is of the revision class. तो यहाँ पे रिवीजन के लिए आपको आना है, ओके? यहाँ पे आप न्यू चीज़ें सीखने मत आइए. यहाँ पे सिर्फ हम आपको की टर्म्स देंगे और थोड़ा एक्सप्लेनेशन देंगे ताकि जो भी आपने लाइव क्लासेस में पढ़ा है वो आपको अच्छे से एक बार रिकॉल हो जाए. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज माय पर्सनल एडवाइस टू ईच वन ऑफ यू कि आप प्लीज़ पहले सारे लाइव क्लासेस देखिए, हमारा जो भी कंटेंट है तो उसको आप पहले पूरा फॉलो करिए, एंड देन वंस यू नो दैट यस यू हैव गॉन थ्रू द पोर्शंस एंड लेट्स जस्ट रिवाइज, देन यू कम बैक टू दिस क्लास. And those who have already watched it, let's please continue with our revision class. Now before that, you know, when I was in 10th, my teacher motivated me using this quote, and that's what I'm gonna do and share with you people also, because I know you guys must be a little tensed. Now this is January, your exam is around the corner, तो बहुत सारी टेंशन है, and I was also a student, so definitely I can relate with you. But if I'm confirming you, if Vistas is confirming you, then you have to trust us and please stay tuned throughout the video. Now it says nothing is impossible, and the word itself says I am possible. So yes, you should tell yourself that yes, it is possible. So how many of you actually like geography? Or is it just because it's a part of your curriculum, it's a part of your syllabus, पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, marks तो लाने ही पड़ेंगे? Geography में interest है या फिर बस पढ़ने के लिए और number लाने के लिए आप लोग geography पढ़ रहे हो? Now because geography is a subject which I personally never liked it, okay? Why? Because इतना कुछ है यार इसमें याद करने को. But the thing is, this was the only subject which gave me full marks. And why? Because it is a factual subject, right? You have to develop the curiosity of learning or knowing or getting knowledge about your world or about your country or other countries for that matter. तो अगर आप इस context से geography को पढ़ोगे and not कि यार मुझे रटना है, I have to mug up everything and you know just go and write things and vomit things on the paper, don't do geography for that. Geography is a very nice subject. I promise you it will give you very good marks. All right. Also with geography, if I tell you, it is very easy. It is all a very layman, you know, it's a layman subject. Why to conserve water? What is the importance of water? What is the importance of transport? What is the significance of industries, agriculture? These are the concepts which we actually learn in geography, all right? So I want to give you a thumbs up. You guys are doing great, and I know you guys have the willingness to learn and to revise, and you want to definitely score good marks. So with that, let's just move ahead with the total weightage. I showed this image last time as well. Now if I tell you, last time we did India and the contemporary world. So thank you, Anju. Thank you for joining us. Now, India and the contemporary world is what we have already covered, and we have kept the 20 marks in our pocket, right? Now we are left to we are way more to go, okay? So 60 more marks we have to earn, and in this class we will get 20 more. So 40 weightage questions we will be able to cover after this class, which comprises both history and geography. Now, contemporary India, which is part 2, 20 marks, ये आपके 100% confirm है अगर आपके क्लास से जुड़ गए हैं और आज आप हमारी क्लास को देख रहे हैं. Let's also wait for some more people to join, and meanwhile I'll just tell you that how much each of these chapters, and it gives you the weightage. All right. तो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं चैप्टर नंबर 1, दैट इज द रिसोर्स एंड द डेवलपमेंट. ओके, नाउ रिसोर्स एंड डेवलपमेंट, इट्स वेरी बेसिक. नाउ व्हाट एग्जैक्टली यू हैव टू लर्न आर दीज कॉन्सेप्ट्स. ओके, सो this chapter has many topics, but from your exam perspective, from your exam point of view, these are the main topics which we have written for you. Now, types of resources, so how many kinds of resources are there, and then soil as a resource, because you know soil is very important. We are doing our agriculture activities, that is because of the soil, right? Then we have land utilization also, and finally the land utilization, basically how to utilize our land in the most efficient and effective way, all right, so that we are not exploiting the resources and using them in a sustainable way. So land resources बस उतना ही है, land utilization, and then the last concept, resource development and planning. तो इसके साथ हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. नंबर 1 टॉपिक है टाइप्स ऑफ रिसोर्सेज. ओके, all right, so types of resources में let's see on the basis of status of development. Now guys, this is a revision class, okay? So I want all of you to focus. जो भी मैंने यहाँ पे points लिखे हैं, हर एक word, these are very important. Make notes and also let's revise together. Now on the basis of status of development, potential resources आते हैं and reserves. It comes reserves. So for potential resources, the examples are like the wind energy, the solar energy, right? Which we are creating naturally, and then Rajasthan and Gujarat, they are the best example. So if they ask you in 1 mark question, or suppose if it comes as a part of a question that what are resources, what are potential resources, you should be able to write these 2 names, Rajasthan and Gujarat. They are producing these potential resources such as wind and solar energy. Then we have reserves. What are reserves? Basically resources which can be used for meeting future requirements. You can save it, you can preserve it, reserve it, that's what it means. तो रिजर्व का बेसिकली यही कॉन्टेक्स्ट है कि हम कैसे अपने रिसोर्सेज को बहुत सस्टेनेबल वे में और विदाउट ओवर यूजिंग इट या एक्सप्लॉइटिंग इट, कैसे हम उसको यूज कर सकते हैं. कॉमन है, राइट? बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें लॉजिक तो नहीं है, इट्स वेरी सिंपल. एंड एज आई टोल्ड यू, ज्योग्राफी इज 100% रियलिटी. जो हम अपने लाइफ में एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं और जो फैक्ट्स हमें अपने कंट्री के बारे में, अपने वर्ल्ड के बारे में जानना चाहिए, दैट इज ज्योग्राफी. तो उसी इंटरेस्ट से आप प्लीज़ ज्योग्राफी को पढ़िए, and it will be very easy. I am sure you guys will nail it, all right, nail on the paper. Then we have on the basis of ownership. Ownership means किसका right है उस property पे, all right. ये तो property क्या है? Resource. तो international resource, the oceanic, all right, resources which are beyond 200 nautical miles. So these are the international resources. 200 miles के आगे अगर आप बढ़ोगे, वो हो गए सारे international resources. उसके पीछे आपका है your country's resources, and you can use it howsoever you want to, but without exploiting and using it in a very sustainable way. Now ये exploiting और sustainable way 2 words हैं जो आप please याद कर लीजिए, हर आंसर में इसको आप यूज कर सकते हो. Now then we have national resources. National resources, जो resources हमारे country में और the resources which are available in our country, वही है national resources like mineral, water resources, forest, wildlife, land. Then we have community. All right, community में क्या है? These are the resources which are held by a common intention. That means here basically village के लोग common लोग हैं, उनका एक common resource है, जैसे public washroom हो गया या park हो गया. All right, so like the grazing grounds. कोई ये तो नहीं कहेगा ना कि यार यहाँ पे my cattle only will feed on this ground. No, it can be used by everyone, right? So that's what the community resource is. Nobody can claim it to be theirs. It is everyone's. Then we have individual resources. Individual resource जो आप solely hold करते हो. The right, it's your right. So example are your own plots, your own houses, and if you can see more examples, plantations, pasture lands, ponds, water in wells. तो आई होप ये एक बहुत ही बेसिक जो हमने रिसोर्सेज का कॉन्सेप्ट अभी क्लियर करा, ये आपका 100% क्लियर है. कोई भी क्वेश्चन आ जाए इनमें से आपको पॉइंट्स पिक करने हैं. ऑलराइट, अगर आपको आ जाए व्हाट आर रिसोर्सेज, तो उसमें भी अगर 5 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है, ये सारे पॉइंट्स को इंक्लूड करो और इंक्लूड ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स. तो इन सोशल बेसिकली व्हाट द ट्रिक इज, you should know how you have to maintain the answer. If it is a 3 marker, how many lines you should write and what you should write. If it's a 5 marker, how many lines you should write and what you should write. यही आपको बस सोशल में करना है, एकदम stick to the point. और जितने भी आपको extra examples you remember, put it on the question answer sheet. Nothing is wrong, right? So either you are not losing anything, maybe you can gain a mark, but you're not losing anything because you're writing something which you have read and it is there in your chapter. तो इसलिए कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं है. Now coming to the next part on the basis of origin, let's see. So we have abiotic resources, then biotic resources. बचपन से हम ये पढ़ रहे हैं, ठीक है. What are abiotic resources? What are biotic resources? Non-living things are abiotic, biotic which have life, which are living things. Example of biotic: fauna, fisheries, livestock, flora. And for example, abiotic, we have rocks, minerals, metals. These are resources, but they don't have life. All right, that's what the basis of origin of biotic and abiotic resources are. And then we have on the basis of exhaustibility. All right, कि वो कितनी जल्दी exhaust हो जाते हैं resources. Now resources are a gift to us from the nature. You all agree, right? ये हमने क्लास में भी डिस्कस किया है. बट क्या ये गिफ्ट का ये मतलब है कि इसको कैसे भी यूज करो और exploit it? No. So again I'm stressing the word sustainability, using with sustainability and also not overusing it, not exploiting it. तो इसके साथ renewable resources and non renewable resources आते हैं. Resources, renewable resource का क्या है? Like solar, wind energy, water, forest. Example minerals and fossils किसका है? Non renewable resources. Non renewable resources means which takes a lot of time, thousands and thousands of years to again get back to the nature. Alright, उसका क्या example है? Minerals and fossil. Now moving ahead, soil as a resource. Now soil is a very important resource. Now we know that in India, agriculture is the dominant activity, right? More than 60% of the people are living in rural areas and also they are doing agriculture based activity. But to give you a general fact, tertiary activity, which is the service sector, is giving or contributing more to the GDP. Alright, so soil as a resource की जब हम बात करते हैं तो यहाँ पे we can classify them, as you know, you must have watched all of these topics in the live class, right? तो यहाँ पे हम revision कर रहे हैं. We'll just quickly see how many kinds of soils are there, and I'm sure once you are going through this chart, you are remembering where to use which soil. All right, so classification of soil, we have alluvial, we have black soil, red, then yellow, laterite soil. Each of these have their own qualities. Arid soil, forest soil. So if a question comes, what is soil and how many kinds of soils are there or how it is classified, use these points. All right, so with that, how to conserve soil, let's see that. Now conservation of soil, it is done by afforestation. Alright, afforestation means planting of more trees. What are we doing? We are doing deforestation, that is chopping of the trees, which is actually exploiting the nature, which is creating global warming, which is giving the constant threat to our nation. And that's why the glaciers are melting, water level, sea level, it is increasing everywhere. So this is all the problem, right? So when you try to mess up with the nature, जब आप nature को disturb करते हो, तो ये सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं. तो कैसे सॉइल, विच इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिसोर्स, उसको कंजर्व करना है, इट इज़ डन बाय एफॉरेस्टेशन. देन ऑल्सो सम अदर एग्जाम्पल्स यू कैन पुट लाइक टेरेस फार्मिंग एक्सेट्रा. Then what is soil erosion? Erosion means something which is depleting. When the soil, the layer of your land is going away, it is depleting, it is eroding. तो erosion में क्या आएगा? ये कुछ points है, इसको पढ़ो. जब मैं आपको पढ़ के बताती हूँ, explain भी करती हूँ. जब question आएगा soil erosion का, इसको आप वहां जाके लिख देना, आपको मार्क्स आ जाएंगे. ऑलराइट, तो रिमूवल ऑफ टॉप सॉइल इज कॉल्ड सॉइल इरोजन. कोई साइंस नहीं है इसमें, कुछ इतना टफ नहीं है, राइट? एंड देन इंटेंस फार्मिंग, ग्रेजिंग, कंस्ट्रक्शन एक्टिविटीज, अदर ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज, दीज आर एक्चुअली कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग फॉर सॉइल इरोजन. तो हम ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज हैव टैम्पर्ड द soil erosion. That's what the problem is. Okay, the soil erosion इन जनरल क्या है, अगर 1 मार्क क्वेश्चन में आ गया, द रिमूवल ऑफ द टॉप लेयर ऑफ द earth, all right, of the soil. The top soil, the removal of the top soil is called as erosion. And these are some of the examples. So I hope अब ये टॉपिक जो अभी हमने पढ़ा है, क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ सॉइल, कितने तरह के सॉइल्स हैं, सॉइल कंजर्वेशन क्या होता है, सॉइल इरोजन क्या होता है. अब अगर सॉइल से रिलेटेड कुछ भी क्वेश्चन आ जाए, मुझे पता है आप लोग उसको लिखने वाले हो, राइट, एंड आई एम श्योर इवन आपको वो कॉन्फिडेंस आ चुका है. So with that, let's move forward with the topic land utilization. अब कितना बेसिक टॉपिक, कितना जनरल टॉपिक है ना. यू नो दिस topic only will tell you what is this question about. If you will be asked what is land utilization, how to utilize the land properly, you know, by not overusing it and using it in a sustainable way. जो मैं 2 words पे बार बार stress कर रही हूँ, पूरा chapter इसी 2 word पे based है, all right. So land degradation and conservation measures पे जाते हैं. So about now these are some of the facts which you have to use in your exam. तो exam में figures, numbers, अगर history ले लो तो dates, ये बहुत important है. तो यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ figures आपको दिए क्योंकि मुझे पता है आपको land utilization 100% पता है. आप लोग स्मार्ट बच्चे हो, आपने लाइव क्लासेस भी देखी हैं, बट रिविजन का पर्पस क्या है, आपको सिर्फ नंबर्स से फेमिलियर कराना. So let's see. Now about 130 million hectares of degraded land is there in India, and then 28% of the forest is the degraded land. ठीक है, 56 is of what? Water. 56% is of water, which is the eroded area, and the rest is affected by the saline and alkaline deposits. तो अगर आपको ये concept clear हो गया, okay, इसमें कुछ इतना आपको मगअप भी नहीं करना है. You just have to know these figures, and then this will help you to support your answer. All right. So with that, let's now understand more about land utilization, and with that, the topic is land use pattern. कि land use pattern क्या है? तो land use pattern किस किस चीज़ों पे depend करता है ना? This can be a question. When I was in my 10th class, this was the only syllabus. I've also done my 10th from CBSE. तो ये क्वेश्चन आई स्टिल रिमेंबर इट केम, ऑल राइट. सो इफ यू नो दीज पॉइंट्स, इस पॉइंट को अगर आप एक आंसर में फ्रेम करना चाहो, डेफिनेटली यू कैन फ्रेम फुल पेज, 2 pages, ऑल राइट. जस्ट दैट यू नीड टू नो दीज टर्म्स. तो चलिए टर्म्स को भी देख लेते हैं. लैंड यूज पैटर्न क्या है? इट डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट ऑल? इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द क्लाइमेट. डेफिनेटली you know there is proper climate to grow certain kind of crops. You cannot grow the other crops in such climates. Topography again कि आपका लैंडफॉर्म कैसा है, किधर माउंटेन है, उधर क्या स्पेशल है, किधर सी है, उसके पास हमें क्या मिलेगा. ऑल राइट, प्लेन्स में हम एग्रीकल्चर कर सकते हैं. सो टोपोग्राफी ऑल्सो इज वन ऑफ द फैक्टर. टाइप ऑफ सॉइल, सॉइल कैसा है. नाउ यू नो दैट ब्रिटिशर्स दे वर वेरी मच अट्रैक्टेड टू इंडिया और एशिया, राइट, मेनली एशिया. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारा सॉइल बहुत अच्छा है, इंडिया का सॉइल बहुत अच्छा है. सो बिकॉज दे नो दैट यहाँ पे प्रोडक्शन एक्टिविटी बहुत अच्छे से हो सकती है. तो टाइप ऑफ सॉइल डिपेंड करता है, पॉपुलेशन डिपेंड करता है कि आपको कैसे लैंड, यू नो, अब पॉपुलेशन इज इंक्रीजिंग, राइट, इट इज इंक्रीजिंग डेडली. तो हमें वी हैव टू प्रोवाइड होम टू अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल. तो उसके लिए वी आर एक्सप्लॉइटिंग द लैंड, वी आर क्रिएटिंग लार्ज ह्यूज टॉल बिल्डिंग्स. तो वो भी डिपेंड करता है क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन ज़्यादा है, उनको हमें ये बेसिक फैसिलिटी, एम्यूनिटी जो उनका राइट है, दैट इज़ द प्रोविजन ऑफ शेल्टर, वो तो देना है. तो टोपोग्राफी है वन ऑफ द फैक्टर. टेक्नोलॉजी है ना, कहीं कहीं पे अगर टेक्नोलॉजी है तो वहाँ पे लैंड अच्छा हो या नहीं हो, सॉइल अच्छा हो या नहीं हो, टेक्नोलॉजी है तो हम कुछ प्रोडक्शन वहाँ से निकाल सकते हैं, राइट. तो टेक्नोलॉजी हैज़ हेल्प्ड द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, द एंटायर वर्ल्ड. तो टेक्नोलॉजी इज अनदर फैक्टर. स्किल, आपके स्किल पे भी डिपेंड करता है. Okay, so if you can use one piece of land and you can produce this particular amount of potatoes, now if you are skillful enough you can produce more. So that is another concept. Population again, then density, tradition, capability, etc. ये है कुछ आपका land use pattern. Then net zone area. Net zone area simple है, the area which is sowed more than once in an agriculture year. All right, so means वहाँ की fertility बहुत अच्छी है. The land, the fertility is very good. All right, and because of that you can produce crops 2 times a year, because one crop will take 4-5 months. So you can grow 2 times a year. So that is a net sown area. It is fertile land basically. The net sown area is also known as the gross cropped area. Then what are fallow lands? Fallow lands, the lands which are left for cultivation for more than 1 year or less year, all right, agriculture year, and they are left uncultivated for the past 1 to 5 agriculture years. Now basically fallow lands क्या है? It's very simple, हमने क्लास में भी डिस्कस किया था. Fallow lands On purpose, they will leave the land, without any activity, without any agriculture activity. The reason is so that the land gains the fertility back. क्योंकि जब हम agriculture products को produce कर रहे हैं तो सारा nutrients तो crops ले ले रहे हैं, then the fertility of the soil is diminished. It won't serve the purpose even if we want to try doing another round of production. So we have to, it's a part of agriculture activity. You have to leave the land little empty for some time, give the land some space to breathe so that it can revive the fertility back. Okay, so that's fallow land. And then we have other uncultivated land, जैसे permanent pastures, grazing land, trees, groves. ना इधर आप कोई agriculture activity नहीं कर सकते हो, all right? So these comprises of forest areas or residential areas. तो इतना ही जानना था बस आपको lands के बारे में. Now, land which is not available for cultivation is what? Barren and wasteland. जहाँ पे कोई भी तरह का cultivation या economic activity नहीं हो सकती है, all right? तो उसका उस land का कोई purpose नहीं है, उसको हम बोलते हैं barren wasteland, जैसे building, roads, factories, etc. Fine. Now with that, let's move ahead with forest. Now forest में आपको कुछ इतना idea, इतना आपको कुछ जानना नहीं है. This is the other uncultivated land. बस आप वहाँ पे example quote करोगे and just give the percentage. कितना percentage forest land है हमारे world में? That is 22.78%. In CBSE, I'm telling you guys, अगर आप percent और numbers पे बहुत focus कर रहे हो ना, तो आपको काफ़ी help मिलेगा. So good evening, Smriti. Thank you, Unni. Thank you for joining and appreciating. Now moving ahead, resource development and planning. कैसे हम resource को develop कर सकते हैं, whatever the resources are there with us, and also how we can plan for better for the future. So इसमें depletion of resources, development of resources में सबसे पहला क्या है? Depletion of resources, accumulation of resources, which is accumulation of resources in few hand means this shows the division or the space between the poor and the rich. क्योंकि कुछ लोग को इतना पावर दिया है वो रिसोर्सेज अपने तरीके से यूज कर रहे हैं एंड दे आर बिकमिंग रिच एंड दे आर बिकमिंग रिचर. सम पीपल दे आर नॉट हैविंग द access to the resources which is basically it's their rights to use, all right? It's a national resource, it's our right. तो वहाँ पे वो लोग poor होते जा रहे हैं. So this is one drawback. Another drawback, then global ecological crisis such as global warming, ozone layer depletion. इन सारी problems की वजह से क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है? रिसोर्स का डिप्लीशन. द क्वालिटी ऑफ द रिसोर्सेज, इधर इट इज एंडिंग, इट इज फिनिशिंग ऑफ, और इधर इट इज डिक्रीजिंग. देन वी हैव लैंड रिसोर्सेज. कुछ लैंड रिसोर्सेज, ये बेसिकली सारे लैंड फॉर्म्स हैं. इफ यू रिमेंबर, माउंटेन्स कितना है टोटल इन द वर्ल्ड? 30%, प्लेटोज 27%, प्लेन्स, एंड देन आइलैंड्स 43%. So these are just the numbers so that you can support your answer. My main intention is, because I know you people have watched the live classes, you're going to schools also, teacher also must have explained you, but आपको क्या याद करना है for your revision class? कुछ numbers, कुछ facts, कुछ years, क्योंकि ये data अगर मैं आपको आज revise कराऊंगी तब आपको शायद थोड़ा सा याद हो जाए and you can use them in your paper. Now इसके साथ अब हम last कुछ few topics पे आ रहे हैं and then our chapter number 1 is finished, guys. You're going good. So conservation of resources, irrational consumption and overutilization of resources, all right? It may lead to what? Socio-economic and environmental problems, all right? So some more people have joined. So hello everyone. Yeah, so I'm happy that you people are joining and I hope that this class is definitely fruitful for you. If you have any question, please shoot it. I have my phone here. I'm definitely gonna answer. Now, irrigation, consumption and overutilization of resources, it may lead to a very economic problem, like full global problem, all right? So that is why it is a need of the hour to conserve the resources. And how to do that? So we have a resource planning in India. So जैसे making of an inventory of resources. ये सब general, these are general topics, general understanding. After their, the region-wise identification across the country. So basically you sit down, you do survey, you assess which land is composed or comprising which kind of soil and then which kind of activity we can do or what we can do. So basically पूरे लैंड को अच्छे से समझना, किधर एग्रीकल्चर हो सकता है, किधर हम बिल्डिंग्स बना सकते हैं, किधर एग्रीकल्चर नहीं होगा तो फैक्ट्री खड़ी कर देते हैं, किधर लेक है या वाटर बॉडीज़ हैं जिसके पास हम एग्रीकल्चर इंडस्ट्री सेटअप कर सकते हैं. सो यू हैव टू प्रॉपरली बी अवेयर ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ द लैंड. So second is making of the planning structure. Making of the planning structure with appropriate technology, skill and institutions. So this will also help us conserve, preserve the land, which is our resource. And then matching of resource plan with a development plan. Alright, कि कैसे we got to know, okay, this area is rich in coal and petroleum. तो अब क्या करना है उसका? उसको हमें efficiently use करना है. तो वो planning बहुत important है. Then only we can actually achieve a sustainable development. Alright. So with that, we have finished chapter number 1. I just want to give you a high five from here, and let's move with chapter number 2, which is forest and wildlife resources. Alright, now here also there is a lot of things in the textbook. I do understand the chapter is very lengthy, but I've cut short it. 4 topics are very important. You can expect the questions from these topics. So first is flora and fauna in India. Then we have depletion of flora and fauna, how it is deteriorating. Conservation of forests and wildlife, types and distribution of forest and wildlife resources. That's the, you can expect questions, big questions also, 5 marker, 6 marker or reasoning questions or 1 marker from mainly these topics. Now with that, let's start flora and fauna in India. Now International Union, alright, international, you have to remember this IUCN. Why I have highlighted it? Because it can help you get good marks if you are using this term in your answer. So International Union for Conservation of Nature and National Resources, alright. So they have actually identified or categorized species in these format, alright, like normal species, endangered species and vulnerable species. किसने distinct करा है, किसने classify किया है? Do not forget, okay? IUCN. Can you repeat with me what is IUCN? It is the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Alright? So here normal species क्या है? Species who are popular and the population levels are considered to be normal for their survival. और इसके examples जैसे आप देख रहे हो cattle हो गया, rodents हो गए, etc. Alright? अगर आपसे पूछा जाए endangered species क्या है? Endangered species क्या है? In danger of extinction. They are about to get extinct. We won't find them again. So these are endangered species. उसका example अगर हम दे, so Indian rhino. Alright? More example, we have crocodile, we have black buck. Right? So these are the resource. These are some of the endangered species. Vulnerable species क्या है? Vulnerable species means they are very less in number and now they are also about to get extinct. Okay, so the population has declined for them also, like the blue sheep and then Asiatic elephant, etc. So please इस slide को आप pause करके भी देख लेना, and also I'm sure you are going to watch this video once again and 2 more times, 3 more times. So you will get through it. Don't worry, this will also be cleared. Now with that, let's move to flora and fauna in India. Okay, so flora and fauna in India, if we talk about, इसमें हमें क्या-क्या पढ़ना पड़ेगा? First is another rare species क्या होता है? Rare species का क्या है? Small population. The species which are very rare, ज़्यादा नहीं है हमारे world में और country में. जैसे Himalayan brown bear, wild Asiatic buffalo. Okay. Then we have endemic species. These are species that are only found in some particular areas. All right. जैसे अगर मैं आपको example दूँ, Nicobar pigeon, Andaman wild pig. These are only restricted to certain areas. So these are known as endemic species. Then we have extant species. All right. Extant species, the species may be extant from the local area. Now they are not anymore. They are extant. If 1 or 2 we can spot anywhere, then it's good. So basically it's extent from the local area, from the region, from the country, continent, or the entire earth. Just dinosaurs. Okay, they are not there anymore. Then we also have some examples for extinct species like Asiatic cheetah, pink head duck, etc. So I hope ये जितने भी तरह के हमने species पढ़े, it is very clear to you. The name only will give you the answer. Okay, so please understand it wisely. Then I have one topic in a form of question, so that I give you the idea how can the questions be made from these topics. Now here, what are the negative factors that cause such fearful depletion of flora and fauna? Now here, if I was discussing through topics, just I would have given you the topic negative factors related to depletion of flora and fauna. So they can just put some question, make question accordingly, alright? So this question you can expect a 5 marks also or a 3 mark also, okay? So here, excessive consumption of natural resources for fulfilling what? The human needs, such as the wood, the leaves, the rubber, all right, the timber, medicines, food, fuel, fodder, so many things which we are using, and we are overusing actually. So that is what is actually leading to this problem, the depletion of flora and fauna. Also the expansion of the railways, the agriculture, other commercial activities, all right. So this all is leading to what? The depletion, the deterioration, the fall, the downfall, the decline of flora and fauna. Then we have large scale development projects. All right, this is also based on related to the industrial factor. So again, mining activities, all this is leading to what, you know, it is exploiting the land, and that's what it is saying why the depletion of flora and fauna is witnessed. And then unequal access, inequitable consumption of resources, and differential sharing of responsibility for environmental, healthy environmental being. So that's what is there, and how you can preserve it if you're just doing the opposite of all this. Fine. So with that, another kind of a question format: what is the conservation of forests and wildlife in India? Okay, so here this question you can expect for sure, because this question even I got in my 10th paper. All right, not exactly this, but somewhat something related to this. So where I use this kind of answer to frame my answer. So here you say the conservation preserves ecological diversity, and also it preserves the genetic diversity of plants and animals. Okay, conservation we have to do. If you're using the gift of nature, we have to conserve it also, right? And we have to keep it for the future people also. So the Indian Wildlife Protection Act was implemented in which year? In 1972. Again, please write this number, the date, for protecting habitats, and all India list of protected species was published. All right, so they keep on doing these surveys so that they are actually going to the root problem. The central government also announced several projects of protecting specific animals. All right, and then under the Wildlife Act of 1980 and 1986, see guys, this is nothing to mug up, nothing to learn, just understand the figures and what they were trying to protect. So again, under the Act of 1980 and 86, several hundred butterflies, moths, beetles, and even the dragonfly, they have been added to the list of the protected species. That now it's a rule by the government that we have to protect these species no matter what. Okay, and then we have 1991, plants were added to the list for the first time, and starting with the 6 species. 6 species of plants were also added that we have to preserve them. We cannot just go and use it and exploit them, and so that it gets extinct, right? So this is the part. Now coming to the last topic of the chapter number 2, guys. So types and distribution of forest and wildlife resources. Number 1, firstly, it is managed by the government. All right. Then through the forest department and other government departments. Then these are classified under the following categories. किस categories में ये हैं classified? Reserve forest, number 1. We have protected forest. So hi Harshita, hello Maham, hi Rahul, hello everyone. Thanks for joining. So reserved forest, protected forest. We have reserve forest, which is more than half of the total forest land. We have protected forest, which is the 1/3 of the total forest land. All right. Unclassed forest, which we actually don't know whether it belongs to a government body or a private body. So this is there. So unclassed body, again, this kind of forest, it is very much present in northeastern states and parts of Gujarat, where they don't know, is it a part of, my entity, or is it government's, or is it my private or my personal. So ये क्या होते हैं? कुछ unclassified forest. After that we have reserved and protected forest. Okay, reserved and protected forests, again they are referred to as the permanent forest, and यहाँ से we can expect to produce some products like timber, rubber, all right, or some sort of medicines. तो ये है आपका classification of forest, और कैसे ये distribute होता है, कौन इसको देखता है, government देखता है. तो अगर आपको question आ जाए, बस इसको थोड़ा सा खींच के 2-3 लाइन में एक छोटे से वर्ड को 5-6 वर्ड्स में बना के एक आंसर आपको क्रिएट करना है, और यही करते हैं हम सोशल में. इसमें कोई बहुत बड़ा लॉजिक नहीं है गाइस, एंड दिस इज माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू such, in such a way, because even I have gone through my 10th class, right? और 10th बहुत important class है. If you go for job, nobody will ask you for your 12th marks. They only want to know how much you scored in class 10th. Why? Because it can tell you, how you are in different kind of subjects. It can actually tell your potential. तो इसलिए 10th के मार्क्स को प्लीज़ बहुत सीरियसली ले लो. और ज्योग्राफी ठीक है, अगर 5-6 चैप्टर 5-6 टॉपिक्स आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, बट जो समझ में आ रहा है उसको अच्छे से पढ़ के जाओ. एंड guys, you have to promise me one thing. Attempt all the questions. कोई भी question leave मत करना. Just attempt. ओके कुछ तो आता होगा यार, ऐसा भी नहीं है कि आपको कुछ नहीं आता. तो कुछ भी लीव मत करो. हो सकता है 3 मार्क्स की जगह आपको 1 मार्क्स आ जाए, 3 मार्क्स गंवाने की जगह आपको 1 मार्क्स आ जाए, विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट, if you talk about reserve and protected forest, Madhya Pradesh has the largest permanent forest. Now with that, another hi-fi guys. So chapter number 3, which is the water resources. Water resources भी बहुत छोटा टॉपिक है, बहुत कुछ आपको इसमें जानना नहीं है. बस रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग कैसे करना है, कैसे प्रिजर्व करना है वाटर को, कैसे वाटर स्पॉइल हो रहा है, हाउ मच वाटर इज देयर इन आवर कंट्री, इन द वर्ल्ड. बेसिक टॉपिक्स है. तो अगर आप टॉपिक्स देख रहे हो, नंबर 1 इज वाटर, देन मल्टीपर्पज रिवर प्रोजेक्ट्स विच इज़ वेरी क्रूशल. 100% क्वेश्चन आपको इस टॉपिक में से आने वाला है. देन इंटीग्रेटेड वाटर रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट, then side effects of creating dam, and then we have rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting से भी 100% 5 मार्क 6 मार्क का क्वेश्चन आ रहा है. तो आपको मैं बोलूँगी ये 2 टॉपिक्स तो डेफिनेटली बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, एंड दीज 3 टॉपिक्स समवेयर लिंक टू दीज टॉपिक्स. ओके, तो इसको हमने इस तरह से बाइफर्केट किया है. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट. वाटर स्कार्सिटी एंड द नीड फॉर वाटर कंजर्वेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट. Okay, so here the availability of water resources varies what over space and time. And after that, now here I'm actually explaining you how to create answer. So I'm reading it for you, just see how I'm creating it, because you people have studied this topic, right, in your school also, in your live classes also. This class is not focusing on the explanation majorly, it is just how you can create your answer. So water scarcity is caused by what? Over exploitation. Scarcity means something which is we are deprived of, we want it, we are lacking it, all right. तो कैसे ओवर एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, ओवर पॉपुलेशन ऑल्सो, बिकॉज नाउ देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल, किस किस को हम पानी दे देंगे, कितना कितना पानी दे देंगे, राइट. तो एक्सेसिव यूज एंड अनइक्वल एक्सेस टू वाटर अमंग डिफरेंट सोशल ग्रुप्स. कहीं कहीं आप देखो हमारे घर में 24/7 water is coming. Few places you go, rural areas, they are collecting water through tanks. Only one tanker will come in a day and they just get one bucket and they have to use it. They are managing it. So ये scarcity क्यों हो रही है? This scarcity is because we are overusing it. We are not, saving it or using it in a sustainable way. So water resources are being overexploited to expand the irrigation areas, and also where there is dry season, where we need water, we are taking water from the rivers or different places. And then in some areas water is sufficiently available to meet the needs of people. So ये इतना unequal जो pattern है water distribution का, that's another cause for this kind of scarcity. Now the need of the hour is what? To conserve water. Now you can use these points when you are writing answer. If they ask you what is the conservation of water, give these points. Start your answer with these points. Your answer should be full professional, full nice formal answer to get marks. So the need of the hour is to conserve and manage our water resources, and then to safeguard ourselves from health hazard. Now waterborne disease is very dangerous, like typhoid, it is very dangerous. So we have to keep protecting water also, and we have to protect ourselves from water also. Any sort of waterborne disease is not good. Then to ensure food security and a continuation of our livelihoods and productive activities. Alright, so these are some of the points. So if ever you get any question related to this, the water scarcity, these are the keywords: water scarcity, need for water conservation and management. Try to use the points which I have given here. It will definitely help you score good marks. Then to prevent the degradation of our natural ecosystem is again why we want to conserve or preserve water. Now after that we have the next topic, which is the multi-purpose river projects and integrated water management. Now this is very important. One question surely you are getting from dams. Okay, so it can be in any form, it can be of any weightage, but dams do come, all right. So dams are built of stone, rubble, reservoir or lakes, if they ask you what are dams. Then embankments, canals for irrigation, these are some other projects, all right, how they are getting water. Now what is basically the reason of dam, why we want dam? Now see, again, a dam is a barrier which is flowing across and stopping water, and it is collecting for the future usage. That's why we use dam. But what are the uses of dam? To impound rivers and rainwater that can be used later. Then also for electricity generation. Then for flood control. These are some of the reasons for dam. So if you get a question from dam, number 1, you have to write, firstly, it is a part of a multi-purpose river project and integrated water resource management. And then what are dams? What is the purpose? We have it here. Moving with the next topic, what are the side effects of creating the dams? Now, dams creation has not served the purpose at all. So it is there, somewhere it is helping 50%, but it is also a barrier. It is a problem, and there are some side effects as well. So here most of the objections to the projects, they are aroused due to their failure to achieve the purpose. So why we actually installed dams or why we were constructing dams, the purpose is completely changed, okay? Most of the dams, they were constructed to control floods, and these dams, they have triggered floods. The dams which we have created, it is triggering the flood, not it is saving us from flood. Also, we are using it for some agricultural activities, taking water from there, causing extensive soil erosion. What was soil erosion, guys, from the first chapter? Yes, the removal of the top soil, top layer of the land. Then excessive use of water has resulted in what? Earthquake. And causes of water are some waterborne diseases which are, as I told you, such as typhoid and also pollution. So polluting water, what these industries are doing, they are just discharging all the waste from the industry where? Inside the river, inside water, and it is affecting aquatic lives. तो ये अब यहाँ पे देखो कहीं पे भी aquatic life वगैरह कोई भी ऐसा topic नहीं है, but you should add from your side because it is making sense, right? So you have to add, you have to see generally what all you can write, keeping dam in the center. One more thing I wanted to tell you guys. Now, from your entire social chapter, okay, from your entire social book, let it be history, geography, civics, as well as your economics, how much ever the trade portion is there. We also have in this geography one chapter which has some trade topics. Those trade topics, they have removed this time. I am repeating again, the trade topics are removed and it is not coming in the exam this time. What they were doing till now, before in the previous years, they had removed some 2-3 chapters, right? But the chapters are back and they have removed certain topics, and most probably and most importantly, which topics? Any topic you see related to trade, it is removed. It is not coming in your exam. So continuing, what is rainwater harvesting? Here, hi Noble. So thank you for joining. So here we have rainwater harvesting is very important. You can expect a 5-marker question also, 3-marker question also, and question as big as where we have to write some 300-400 words you can expect. Now what is rainwater harvesting? Basically collecting of the rainwater for the future purpose. Now you know you can add some more points, you can add some new points with that. So rainwater is collected for the future usage, point number 1. Different methods have been used and adopted in different areas for rainwater harvesting. In hill and mountain regions, people are doing what? They have built diversion channels and like gulls and kulls of the western Himalaya for agriculture. Rooftop water harvesting is what commonly practiced where? It is practiced to store where? Drinking water, particularly in Rajasthan, because Rajasthan is a very dry land and there you need water. So whenever the rain is there, they try to harvest it. They try to save the water for other activities. Then in the floodplains of Bengal, people developed inundation channels, all right? So inundation channels to irrigate their field. So what is this inundation channel? So basically it will divert from the water from the river directly for the purpose, either for the field or whatever purpose you want to use for. Then we have Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu for this purpose. So Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu, they are actually conserving water. They are preserving water. They are doing rainwater harvesting. So with that, we come to chapter number 4, and with that only 3 more chapters are left and we have to revise. So this chapter is agriculture. Now in agriculture, what you have to learn are the topics like major crops, number 1. So what kind of crops we are growing. And again, this time expect questions which are Indian centric, you know, which is actually related to India. What kind of climate we have, what kind of crops we are growing, which part of India is special for what. These are the questions which you can expect. So what sort of major crops are there, then technological and institutional reforms, then types of farming and cropping pattern. You can expect questions from these topics. Now with that, let's first start with cropping pattern. Now you know there are 3 kind of crops which we are growing according to the season. Number 1 is Rabi, second is Kharif, and third is Zaid crops. What is Rabi crop? It is sown in winter. What is the duration? October to December, and harvested in summer from April to June. It is growing from October to December, when it is harvested, when they are taking the crops out in the month of April to June. So it's a summer crop, and wheat, barley, peas, gram, mustard are some of the examples. So your topic Rabi crops is done. Second, we have Kharif crops. What are Kharif crops? It is grown with the onset of monsoon in different parts of the country. It is mostly grown during monsoon. Rabi is grown when grown in winters but harvested in summers. This one is centric to monsoon, and they are harvested in September to October. And we have paddy, rice, maize, bajra, tur, moong dal, urad. So many examples are there. Cotton, jute. Cotton also requires a lot of water, so that's why it is a monsoon based crop. Then we have zaid crops. So it is grown between the Rabi and the Kharif, the season between the first two. Alright, so like watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, these are some of the commercial crops which we really like, we look up to, right? These are the seasonal fruits like mangoes. So these are the crops known as zaid crops. So I hope if cropping pattern is done, let's move forward with the major crops. Now we have rice. Now rice is a Kharif crop. You just learned what is a Kharif crop. It requires high temperature, which is more or above 25%. 25 degrees Celsius, high humidity with annual rainfall which is below 100 centimeter. Alright. Okay, thank you. Kesri, I am definitely reading your comment. Thank you so much. And let's proceed with the class. So here, high humidity we want and annual rainfall above 100 centimeter. So here the grown in plains of north and northeastern India, coastal areas, deltic regions. So these are some of the areas where rice is grown. Then we have wheat. Alright, so wheat is what? Number one, a Rabi crop. It requires a cool, it requires a cool growing season and bright sunshine. It requires 50 to 70 centimeter of annual rainfall every day and evenly distributed. Wheat producing states are what? The Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, majorly parts of North India and also Madhya Pradesh. Then we have millets. Now these are the important crops, the major crops which we are growing, alright. So when we talk about millets, then we have jawar, bajra, ragi, these are the important millets. Rain-fed crops, these are rain-fed, so again monsoon crops, mostly grown in moist areas where we have need irrigation, alright, where we need irrigation. Then we have maize, which is a Kharif crop. It requires temperature between 21 degree to 27 degrees Celsius and grows well in which kind of soil? Alluvial soil. So the use of modern inputs such as HYV seeds, which are very high yield variety seeds if you remember. So these fertilizers and irrigation, they have contributed to the increasing production of the maize. So because of the advanced technology, advanced production, usage of HYV seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, so we are able to produce maize in massive numbers. It is increasing in production. Then we have pulses. Okay, so pulses like tur, arhar, moong, masoor, peas, these are some of the pulses which are grown in India. So why I am showing you each of these small topics, so that any 1-2 big agriculture based question comes, include these points. Whatever you remember, include the point. You are not losing marks, alright. So then we have sugarcane. Now it grows well when in hot and humid climate. So all this you should know, right? And with a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius and an annual rainfall between 75 centimeter to 100 centimeter. Now if you notice, most of these crops, they are using this much centimeter only, from 75 to 100. Okay, so even if you don't remember, you just use it. Okay, you will fetch marks definitely. So need manual labor from sowing to harvesting. For growing sugarcane, you need a manual labor for harvesting. Then we have oil seeds. The main oil seed produced in India. Okay, yeah, millets are good for health, definitely. Okay, Casey, you better focus here. Alright, so oil seeds, the main oil seeds produced in India, they are what? The groundnut, mustard, coconut, these are some of the oil seeds, cotton seeds, sunflower seeds. So these are also we are familiar with, we are using it, it's our daily usage, and these are also grown widely in our country. Then we have tea. So how many of you are tea lovers? Tea, coffee, these sort of beverages. Okay, so tea, let's know also about it. Alright, so tea, it grows well in tropical and subtropical climates. Deep and fertile, well-drained soil. Now see, just see these points which I've marked for you. Just take a screenshot, watch this video again and again. Please remember these points, it will help you frame your answer. So deep and fertile, well-drained soil, it is rich in humus and organic matter. Then it is, the bushes, it require a warm and moist, frost-free climate all through the year in order to grow the tea, like Darjeeling and all these places are growing tea. Coffee, in Karnataka, we have a place, Chikmagalur. So there, it is known as the coffee land of India because we are producing massive amount of coffee there. So cultivation is confined to the Nilgiris in Karnataka and Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So because the kind of soil and climate, it is available here only to produce coffee. Then we have rubber. So equatorial crop, it is an equatorial crop, but also it is grown in tropical and subtropical areas. As you are already familiar, we have done the academic videos, live classes, and even your school have taught you this, right? So it requires what? Moist and humid climate with rainfall of more than 200 centimeters. So for rubber to be produced, we want rainfall to be more than 200 centimeters. Okay. So then we have jute. Now it is well-drained, fertile soil in the floodplains and soils. They are renewed every year again to improve the fertility. And West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, these are some of the places for who are the major producers of jute. Then we have cotton. Now cotton grows well in drier parts, okay, of the black cotton soil of the Deccan Plateau. Don't forget, it is black soil is used to produce cotton. It requires high temperature, light rainfall or irrigation, 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine. You are producing cotton if all these criteria are met. Alright. So with that, let's go to some horticulture crops. Now here we know mangoes of Maharashtra, oranges of Nagpur, bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. Just learned 2 places is more than enough. Lychee or guava, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Pineapples of Meghalaya. So what are these? Basically, these are all the horticulture crops. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh, apples, pear, apricots of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. They are great in the demand. This is demanded all over the world. Alright, so these are some of the horticulture crops. Quickly we revised it, and now let's go to technological and institutional reforms. Alright, so here provision for crop insurance against drought or flood or cyclone, fire and disease. So basically why these insurance? So that the farmers are not stressed. Alright, if it is insured, the land, the crops is insured, even if any thing happens, they are not losing anything. Okay. So they can basically stay easy. That's why these technological and institutional reforms or institutions are there. Now types of farming, number 1, primitive subsistence farming. Then we have intensive subsistence farming, commercial farming, and that's it. That's all for this chapter. So let's see primitive subsistence farming first. So it is practiced on small patches of land, alright, and with the help of primitive tool. Okay, I'm glad so many students are there. So if you have any question, please shoot it. Primitive subsistence farming, it is practiced on small patches of land with the help of the primitive tools like hoes, digging sticks, family, community labor, and it is also known as a slash and burn agriculture. This also comes surely. They will give you what is the other name for slash and burn agriculture. You just have to write primitive subsistence farming. This I also got in my exam, alright, my 10th paper. Then we have intensive subsistence farming. Now this one is what? A labor intensive farming. A lot of labor are required here, as I've also explained you in the classes, where high doses of biochemical inputs and irrigation, they are used for obtaining higher production. Alright, so this is another form. And then we have commercial farming. So commercial farming uses higher doses of modern inputs, example as high yielding variety seeds, HYV seeds. And then we have chemical fertilizers, we have pesticides, insecticides, just to obtain higher production. But guys, again, if you get the question of soil erosion, so you can use these points there also. That because of the usage or because of the commercial farming and the usage of HYV seeds and these fertilizers, insecticides, so we are eroding soil. So you can support mix and match. So again, if you have all the data, all that content in your head, then you can use it wherever. You have to just play with the answer. Alright. So with that, we have finished chapter number 4 also. And now let's move to chapter number 5, which is minerals and energy resources. Now, don't be afraid of this diagram, like, which is very big, right? The segments are big, but then the topics are very small. Now, here you will learn ferrous mineral, non-ferrous mineral, non-metallic mineral, rock mineral, energy resources and the conservation, non-conventional resources of energy, conservation of energy resources, and finally, what is a mineral. Okay, so these are the topics. So let's start with the ferrous mineral first. Iron ore, and what are the major iron ore belts? This you should know. Okay, so iron ore is what? The magnetite is the finest iron ore with a high content of iron up to 70%. So this is one of the example of iron. And then hematite ore is the most important industrial iron ore with the content of iron between 50 to 60%. So this hematite is used by the industrial purposes. All right. So what are some of the major belts, iron ore belts? You can also get these to mark on the map. So we are coming up with another session where we will discuss question answers and also some previous year question papers. So there I will show you all these belts. All right. If I don't show, please put it in the comment also. So Odisha, Jharkhand belt, Ballari, Chitradurga, Chikmagalur, Tumkur belt, and then we have Maharashtra, Goa belt. So in these belts you can find the availability of iron, the ore. Then we have non-ferrous mineral and ferrous mineral. So first let's see about the non-ferrous mineral. Now here copper we have and bauxite we have. Two kinds of non-ferrous minerals, copper and bauxite. So here it is used in electrical cables, electronics and chemical industries. Now this is something which you know, we all are using copper, and the Balaghat mines in Madhya Pradesh, the Khetri mines in Rajasthan and the Sigbam district of Jharkhand, these are some of the belts which are producing this. And when we talk about bauxite, then deposits, they are found in what? The Amarkantak plateau and then the Michael Hills and the plateau region of Bilaspur and Katni. So here you will find these non-ferrous minerals. What are the non-ferrous minerals? Copper and bauxite. Then we have non-metallic minerals. We have mica for non-metallic minerals. You just have to remember one example, that is enough. So most indispensable mineral which is used in the electric and electronic industries. So Kesri, the class will be of more than, I think, more 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So please stay tuned. And I hope you are understanding everything. If you are, please put down in the comment. So mica, again, it is used for electronic industries, and mica deposits are found in Chota Nagpur plateaus, and these are some of the belts which I will be showing you when we are discussing the map work. All right. Then we have rock minerals. For that we have limestone, rock minerals. Okay. So I'm sure you all know this, right, from the classes. Thank God. So this is just the revision. Guys, please, if you haven't watched the live classes or the academic videos, please go back. First watch them, understand these topics, then you come back for revision. So found in sedimentary rocks, what? Limestone. It is used as a raw material for the cement industry, and they are essential for smelting iron ore and the blast furnace. Okay. So then energy resources, which are the conventional sources. So conventional sources of energy are coal, petroleum and natural gas. We all know since childhood. And coal, for petroleum, we have 63% of India's petroleum production, which is there in Mumbai, high, and 18% in Gujarat and 16% in Assam. Now this will help you support your answer. That's why these percent and figures. And then we have natural gases. Natural gas has been discovered where? In the Krishna Godavari basin, the Gulf of Cambay and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Alright. So these are some of the examples of natural gas. Then we have electricity. Now thermal electricity is there, and then hydroelectricity. These are the two which we are going to learn. So here, generated by coal, thermal electricity is generated by coal, by petroleum and natural gas, which in 310 thermal power plant. Then we have hydroelectricity. This is another example. So it is generated by fast flowing water, which we are all aware, like the multi-purpose projects, the dams, etc., which is creating hydroelectricity. Then we have non-conventional sources of energy. Alright. So non-conventional sources of energy, we have nuclear or atomic energy. Now in this one, thorium is available in Jharkhand and in Rajasthan. These are the two examples, and it is used for generating atomic power or the nuclear power. Then we have monazite sands. So monazite sands of Kerala, which are also rich in thorium. And then we have some solar energy, which you know as a non-conventional source. So India has enormous possibilities for tapping the solar energy. We are getting sun rays, and wherever it is possible we can put the solar panels. So this is another step for sustainable development, or the sustainability which we were talking about initially. फिर photovoltaic technology converts sunlight directly into electricity. ठीक है, तो ये सब थोड़ा थोड़ा कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो आपको याद करनी पड़ेंगी, बट आपको अगर ये पता होगा कि क्या नॉन कन्वेंशनल सोर्स एनर्जी है, क्या कन्वेंशनल सोर्सेज ऑफ एनर्जी है, आप कुछ ना कुछ आंसर इसका लिख लोगे. प्लीज़ इन पॉइंट्स को आप डेफिनेटली याद कर लीजिएगा. Then we have wind power. Now wind farms, they are located where? In Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, wherever the weather is windy, they have installed the same. Then we have biogas. Now shrubs, farm waste and animal and human waste, they are what? They are used to produce biogas. Now tidal energy, what is tidal energy? See, these are some small topics which you can use in the answer. So oceanic tides can be used to generate electricity, and the Gulf of Khambat, the Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat, these are some of the examples, all right, for tidal energy. Then we have geothermal energy. Now it refers to what? It refers to the heat and electricity produced, or the production, by using the heat from the interior of the earth. So when you are using the interior heat of the earth, you are getting geothermal energy, and that's what all you have to know. Then we have conservation of energy resources. Okay, so then we have conservation of energy resources, the promotion of energy conservation and energy use of renewable energy resources. They are what? Twin planks of the sustainable energy, as I also explained you in the class. So here, using public transport systems instead of individual vehicles, all right, or switching off electricity. So basically doing things which we are told to, so that we are basically not wasting the resources and using them with full potential without wasting it in a sustainable manner. So that is what the conservation of energy resources are. So now the question is, what is a mineral? All right, so you can expect this in 1 mark surely. A homogeneous naturally occurring substance with a definite internal structure. So anything which has a structure and also it is a naturally occurred substance, it is known as a mineral. Now the last topic, mode of occurrence of mineral. Okay, what is the mode of occurrence? Now, igneous and metamorphic rocks and also sedimentary rocks is what we are aware of, and that is what we are doing here. So it may occur where? Igneous and metamorphic rocks, they occur maybe through cracks or crevices, faults and joints. Then we have the smaller occurrence, they are called veins, and the larger are called lodes. Now tin, copper, zinc, lead, etc. are the examples. Then we come to sedimentary rocks. So mineral occur in the beds or layers, that is like the gypsum, potash salt and sodium salt. These are the sedimentary rocks. Then we have ocean waters. Ocean water also gives us some sort of minerals. So here ocean beds are rich in manganese modules, and then common salt, magnesium, bromine, they are largely found here in the ocean waters. So with that, we have finished our chapter number 5 as well. And now chapter number 6 is what? Manufacturing industries. I am giving you a break of just 30 seconds. So if you have any doubt, you can shoot, and let me drink water by that time, and I'll just join back in 30 seconds. Okay, so coming back to chapter number 6, manufacturing industries. So here what exactly we are going to learn? The industrial location, the contribution of industry to national economy, manufacturing and its importance, control of environmental degradation, industrial pollution and the environmental degradation, information technology and electronics, automobile industry, then mineral based industries, agro based industries, and that's all. All right, so let's quickly start. We're not going to spend a lot of time. I just want you to see these points once and you're done with the revision. Industrial location, it depends upon the raw material. What is the kind of raw material which is available? Depending on that, we will install our industries. Labor, capital, power. So basically the the inputs which we are going to use for production. Then we have contribution of industry to the national economy. The share is what? 17% of GDP out of total of 27% for the industry, which includes 10% for mining, quarrying and other activities like electricity and gas. Then we have manufacturing and its importance. Number one point is production of goods in large quantities for raw materials, help to reduce heavy dependence. Then we have eradication of unemployment because more people are getting employment opportunities, and poverty in our country as people from rural areas are coming to urban areas and they are working and looking for opportunities, and also expansion of trade and commerce, which brings out globalization. Globalization ki wajah se, this is what it's a perk for any economy. Then we have control of environmental degradation. Okay, so minimizing the use of water for processing by reusing and recycling, harvesting rainwater, treating hot water, effluent before releasing, etc. So these are some of the way how you can control environmental degradation. Please expect a question from these two topics, and this is what the matter you have to write. Then we have industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Now here basically water pollution is caused by organic and inorganic industrial waste. You all know that. So this is just a reminder. So effluents discharged into rivers by paper, by pulp, chemical, textile. This is what it is leading to, environmental degradation and industrial pollution. So basically pollution created through industries is what is known as industrial pollution. Now air pollution is caused by the presence of high proportion of undesirable gases such as the carbon monoxide, CO, which we write as. Then we have thermal pollution. Now it occurs when hot water from factories, it is there and drained into the rivers. That's the problem of thermal pollution. So it is affecting aquatic life and it is not good for the nature. So you can quote air pollution, thermal pollution to support this answer. Then we have information technology and electronics. Alright, so here the continuing growth in hardware, alright, or the IT sector, the software, it is the key, or why India is becoming a developed country. We are there, we are working hard, okay. So then we have automobile industry. Again, it is given a good boost to the GDP since years now. Provide a vehicle for quick transport. It is making people's life easy. And if I have to give you some examples, we know trucks, buses, cars, motorcycles, etc. Then we have mineral-based industries. So here we talk about iron and steel industry. Okay, so iron and steel industry is what? A mineral-based industry, and the products of these industries, they feed other industries. So other heavy industries depends on iron and steel industry. We have agro-based industries, which is the textile industry, correct? So for example, jute, where it is located mostly West Bengal, okay, and then we have cotton textile. So again, Maharashtra, Gujarat, they are the producers. They are producing in a bigger quantity. Then we have sugar industry, which is seasonal in nature. So ideally it is suited in the cooperative sector, and as I told you, sugar industry, it is labor intensive, all right. So UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, these places are producing sugar. And if you have to classify these industries, so based on the bulk and weight of raw materials and finished goods, then we have heavy industries such as iron and steel industry. We have light industry, produce light goods like some small tailoring machines or iron box. These are some of the machines. Then we have, on the basis of ownership, we have public sector, which is owned and operated by the government, like BHEL or SAIL. These are some of the abbreviations. Then we have private sector. What is a private sector? So owned and operated by individuals or a group of individuals like Tisco, Bajaj. These are the examples. Quickly, let's do the joint sector industries. So here it is clubbed. Both government and private companies are clubbed and they are working. Then we have cooperative sectors owned and operated by the producers or suppliers for raw materials who are workers of both. All right. So with that, let's move on the basis of capital investment. Again, we have small scale industry, large scale industry. So basically this chapter, nothing as such to learn, but you have to be aware, okay, what is each of these stands for. So maximum investment, where it is up to 1 crore, it is a small scale industry. If it is more than 1 crore investment, it is a large scale industry. So according to their main role, so consumer industries are there like sugar, toothpaste, all these general products which we get in the shops. Sewing machines, fans, these are the consumer industries. Basic or key industry, if I talk about iron and steel, copper smelting, aluminium smelting, these are some of the examples. Then on the basis of the sources of raw material, agro-based, mineral-based, cotton, wood, woolen, jute, silk, textile, these are some of the parts of agro-based. And for mineral-based, you know, you have to write iron and steel industry, cement, aluminium, and machine tools, petrochemicals, etc. So with that, we have finished chapter number 6, and that's all, guys. That's all you have to learn. Just when we'll discuss the question answers out of these topics, then you will be even getting the concepts clear. Now let's come to the last topic, that is the lifeline of the national economy. So I'm giving you a high five with both of my hands, because you are doing a great job. I know you are. You have that curiosity to learn, to revise, and guys, we are together. You will get good marks, I'm sure. All right. So lifelines of the national economy, you have to learn very basic chapter, very scoring chapter. So please try to do this chapter very properly. Roads, border roads, road density, tourism as trade, international trade, communication, and transport. Now here, let's quickly start with roadways. I know you guys have learned all this, so that's why the purpose is to revise. So let's quickly revise. National highways, they are the primary road system which are laid and maintained by the Central Public Work Department, that is CPWD. Then we have state highways, which is linking a state capital with the different district headquarters, which is also the different district headquarters. Then we have district roads. So national highway, state and district, all right. So it connects with the district headquarters with other places in the district, and it is maintained by the Zilla Parishad. Then we have other sort of roads, which are the rural roads linking rural areas with the village or towns, the inner roads which you have seen, and it is not that developed, all right. Then we have border roads, organization or government. So basically a government organization of India which is undertaking or construction of maintaining these roads. They are known as the border roads. The roads which are there, which is defining your country's border. Then we have two topics, which is tourism as a trade and international trade. These topics are not coming. So I'll just put a cross here, because these topics won't be there. All right. So I hope that you have understood. So tourism as a trade and international trade, it is not there in the syllabus this time. They have removed these trade topics. So if you want to just support your answer, if you want to learn something to support your answer with other question, you can go through it, just a general reading, that's all. You don't have to learn it. Now communication, personal communication and mass communication, which is including television, radio, all the entertainment purpose. All right, so means of communication in the country. Then we have transport, the Air Indian Airlines or the Alliance Air, private scheduled airlines, non-scheduled operators. So these are to provide domestic air services, and Air India provides international services as well. And if I give you an example of helicopter services, then Pawan Hans helicopters are there. Then we have waterways, which is the cheapest means of transport, and we have it is suitable for carrying heavy and loaded goods, bulky goods, and it is fuel efficient, environmental friendly mode of transport. So if they ask you which is the best way and eco-friendly way of the transport, say waterways. Then we have railways. The distribution pattern of the railway network has been influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors. All right. So this is about the railways, and you know that because of these, the connectivity has gone really well. Then we have pipelines, so which is used for transporting crude oil, petroleum products, as well as the natural gases from oil, natural gas fields, refineries, fertilizers, factories and big thermal power plant. Okay, so three important networks for the pipeline Upper Assam are the Upper Assam to Kanpur. Then we have one belt from Salaya to Gujarat. Then Jalandhar in Punjab and Hazira in Gujarat connects Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh. So these are some of the pipeline links which are used for the purpose. With that, now quickly we'll do the second last topic. So golden quadrilateral superhighway. So just see what is linking with what, all right. So it is linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai and Delhi, and it has 6 lanes, which is a superhighway. Then the north-south corridor linking Srinagar and Kanyakumari throughout, all right, vertically. Then we have east-west corridor connecting what, Silchar, which is there in Assam, and Porbandar, where it is in Gujarat. So it is going horizontally. Then we have some major seaports, which is the final topic. So India has how many? 13 major ports, and Kolkata Port, Pradeep. So Pradeep Port, then New Mangalore, Cochin. So these are some of the examples. You can pause and you can read. So this was all about this revision class, all the 7 chapters. It is 100% cleared, I hope. And I can say that yes, you are going to get these 20 marks, because if you're watching this video again and again and you're making your notes, I am definitely sure you will get the 20 marks which we have assured you. And also guys, please don't lose your focus. Stay calm, learn happily, eat nicely, sleep nicely, wisely, and learn and just see how you can frame the answers and how well you can write it there in the exam using from whatever sources you have, the knowledge you have gained from different sources. So again, with that we have finished. I hope so. History and geography, 40 marks, it is definitely coming. So next class we are meeting for political science. So please be there, wait for the class, and for more of such videos, stay tuned to Vista's Learning.